What's up everybody? This is going to be the tutorial video on how to do the hip hinge squat pattern. Hey everyone, my name is Matthew Walters, and if you don't know me already, I'm passionate about helping people improve their health and performance permanently for the long term. All right, so the hip hinge or squat pattern, whatever you want to call it, it's an important movement pattern that you're going to have to understand. It'll be helpful to reducing loads on the spine. It's improving your overall capacity for the day, preventing injury, and ultimately improving your capacity to do more work. So it's going to be very, very important that you understand this functional movement pattern for your daily routine. It doesn't matter if you're training hard or if you're just picking something up off the ground. If you're just moving through daily life, it's going to be something you want to understand. Okay, so the first place that you're going to want to start out with the hinge or the hip hinge movement is going to be kneeling on the ground. This kind of makes things a little bit simpler, easier to understand in terms of using your hips and not your knees, right? And using your hips more functionally. All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna start on your knees with your toes into the ground. This gives you a nice stable base. Knees are gonna be about shoulder width apart. And from here, all you're gonna wanna do is start with your hands on your thighs. Find your nice neutral core position. Lock it in, brace. And from here, sit your hips back, pressing down on your thighs, keeping that back nice and flat, and then extending back up to your starting position. As you're coming down, you're pushing on your legs, you're pushing on your thighs, activating those lats to help you brace, keeping that core stiffened, sitting those hips back, torso is coming forward, down until you feel a little bit of a stretch here in the glutes, and then you're using and driving those glutes forward to help bring you back up into that starting position. All right, so one more time. Once you're comfortable with the kneeling hip hinge, you're going to want to progress onto the standing hip hinge or shortstop squat. All right, so when you're ready to get started, I would say the easiest way to kind of imagine this or to start out is as if you're playing baseball and you're doing a little bit of like a shortstop position, right? So what that's going to start with is having your feet about shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider, toes facing forward, and you're going to initiate the movement by sitting your hips back. All right, you don't want those knees to come forward, you don't want to stay totally vertical and go up and down. You want to actually sit your hips back and then have your torso come a little bit forward. All right, first place you want to start is by finding a nice neutral spine. So if you're standing up, feet about shoulder width apart, head nice and straight, nice and tall. You don't want to be, extended too far back, and you don't want to be flexed forward. You want a nice kind of neutral position with your spine. From there, you're going to brace, hold that in, and you're going to slide your hands down your legs with your knee right between your thumb and your first finger. All right. Slowly slide those hands down, sitting your hips back, right? You don't want those knees to come forward. You don't want to stay perfectly upright. You actually want your torso to come a little bit forward while keeping that back nice and flat and sitting those hips back. All right. You want the weight of your feet just in the middle of the foot. You don't want to be too far back, too far forward. Nice evenly weight. Shift those hips back, come down and back up. Small little note, as you're pushing that hand into the thighs It's really important for helping to activate the lats, right? As we talked about, when you're bracing, that can help to stiffen and stabilize through the spine as well. So again, you're gonna set up, feet about shoulder width apart, find that nice neutral position, brace, slide the hands down the shoulders, pushing into the knees, nice flat back, extend up using your glutes and your hamstrings. All right, so that's it. That's the shortstop squat or the hip hinge. Very, very important functional movement pattern that you're gonna wanna pay attention to and use throughout the whole entire day. It's gonna make picking things up a lot more safer, and it's gonna save your back overall. If you have any other questions about either this video or any other aspects of the hinge, please let me know down in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. And otherwise, if this video helped you, give it a thumbs up. And if you don't want to miss out on any other health and performance tips, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and I'll talk to you again soon. Peace.